Go. The most overpowered and most well-known PvP weapon in the game. And if you do not know about this gun and you play a lot of PvP, you're living in a cave. Because this thing is a beast. It is amazing. It's the best PvP gun in the game, hands down. You cannot compete with it. Long range. Close range, last word might be better. Probably is better with its hipfire and all that stuff. The Thorn, just overall, it's really fast, headshot, kills, the amount of time it takes to kill, and then the burn that it puts on you, the poison that can finish you off if you're low enough. That just adds up and it combines to make this really good combo of a gun. So, it's really good in PvP, but it's not quite so good in PvE, and that's what they're kind of talking about, and they're dealing with that in this update that's going to be coming up, so that's pretty good. I'm happy to see that, because I play a lot more PvE than I do PvP. And here we go, let's see what they say. Thorn has had an interesting journey. It started as a weapon that was perceived as an unworthy reward for one of the most continuous exotic bounties in the game, and has slowly dug its way into players' flesh as one of the most popular exotics among the Destiny population. And then they just have a graph, and it shows like how much people use it in PvP, and the Thorn's just way above it. Everything else. And then there's the last word below, and then Red Death, and then everything else is like at the bottom. We want to preserve the functionality that makes Thorn such a compelling weapon, but its effective range and lethality are one of the most hotly contended items by the PvP player base. The base changes to hand cannons and weapon stats address Thorn's range. This is the changes. Reduce base damage of Thorn's Mark of the Devourer to roughly a third of what it was in PvP and PvE, so they're making that poison do less damage. Allows DOT, that's the poison thing, to stack up to 5 times in PvE if you shoot someone 5 times in a row really fast. And then this is a net buff for Thorn's DOT, but reduces the lethality of the weapon in PvP. So that's what they're trying to fix, trying to make so you don't die from the poison so much in PvP. Other than that, though, you're still going to be able to kill people pretty fast with it if you can just get the headshots off. Other than that, you won't really get killed by the poison as much, but it will be pretty useful, and it sounds like it'll be pretty good in PvP, maybe killing some bosses. It might just be able to melt them if you got a full team having that 5 times stack limit. Kind of reminds me, I don't know how many of you played Borderlands, but there's a lot of things in Borderlands with skill trees where you can stack, and if you get them to stack all the way up, it just does massive damage. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the Thorn. I'm surprised they didn't nerf its overall damage and recoil and all that. We'll have to see how it plays. Maybe it'll still be really good. Maybe it'll actually be like awful. Maybe the whole thing is the poison, just no one could really tell. I think it's kind of both the damage and the poison. But let's go on to the Icebreaker, because I'm not talking about the Hawkmoon, because I'm on Xbox. Here we go. Let me switch over. Well, the Icebreaker, probably the second most known exotic in the game. It's been with us since the beginning of the game. It's one of the original exotics, not DLC. Probably most used PvE gun in the game, if not the most. Probably second to Gjallarhorn. Here's what they have to say about the Icebreaker. We've all done it. Hunker down in the back of the map with your lunchbox, picnic table, a sci-fi paperback, an icebreaker. Kill the enemies, wait for more to show up, kill those ones too, put a few shots on the boss, make a sandwich, finish the strike, and then collect your reward. Isn't Hawkmoon a move? Wait. Oh, I see. They kind of put a funny joke in there about the Hawkmoon. And move on. The recharging ammo of Icebreaker has become a staple for the PvE game. We don't want to completely destroy that, because a really great thing happens when all of a sudden you need Icebreaker and you're still waiting on that next round to show up. In that moment, there's an interesting tension to play. You need to think about how you spend your few next seconds while it recharges. You're going to amplify that tension by increasing the recharge duration by a few seconds. The only change they do to this, and I do not understand why they did this, because this gun is not overpowered, and it doesn't really change the gun, it just makes it more annoying to use, and it just makes it take longer to do raids and all that stuff with the people using the gun. They're adding it so it takes 3 more seconds to regen ammo. It takes 8 instead of 5 now. Well, there's pretty much nothing to really talk about other than the fact that this gun's just going to be more of a pain to use, and not going to be as good as it once was. Still going to be good, still going to regen ammo, have infinite, you're just going to have to wait a lot longer. Other than that, let's move on to the next weapon. No, 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 just no, 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 no. This weapon, no, Bungie, you cannot make this gun better. Just stop. Just leave it. Let it be. No one's gonna use it. Doesn't matter what you do. Just stop. Here we go. The Lord of Wolves, probably the most exciting gun that was released in the House of Wolves DLC. The Captain's Shrapnel Launcher, basically. It's an automatic shotgun, burst shotgun, I guess you could call it. It's pretty good. I like it. I don't. They buffed it, so I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's just I don't know why they buffed it. I mean, I used it still, and I don't think it's bad. It's just I'd rather use Gjallarhorn, but Gjallarhorn's getting patched sadly, so now maybe I'll move on to other guns like this, and that's probably why they're doing it. This is what they have to say on Lord of Wolves. This weapon is a bruiser and doesn't need help. The only element that is lackluster is a recovery boost granted to allies from the Lord of Wolves perk. We had hoped this would inspire fire teams to stay close and attack and defend as a unit, rallying around their pack leader. However, the recovery boost doesn't do much to incentivize it. Hello, Bungie. Please use words that we all understand. So we tripled it. Oh, okay, nothing bad was that. So basically now you're just going to have the recovery boost that Lord of Wolves has when you kill enemies. It's going to be 3 times better. So instead of it being what it used to be where you recover health, which was pretty good. I didn't really notice that much of a difference. But now it'll be 3 times more, so your allies will be recovering 3 times more health when you're getting kills with it, and the House of Wolves perk or the Lord of Wolves perk is active. So, that's pretty good. I'll probably be using the weapon a little bit more now, see what happens. We're doing Prison of Elders or something like that, see if it really helps us get out of some sticky situations. That's it for that gun, and now let's move on to probably the gun that I'm most excited about talking about. Not the happiest, but you'll see.